Matthias. You still need to be in the passenger seat.
It's like, wow, I don't even know what to say about it. It's like a whole new, totally unreal vibe. Holy shit, that's awesome. A warm welcome to our second video here at GerCollector. We're actually putting together a series, aren't we? So there are 4 videos in total. I actually won a car in our little sound challenge game that was running on your channel. It's linked somewhere, wherever you can find it online. And I managed to unlock, or let's say, eventually claim the McLaren P1.
Yes, that's just how it goes.
The car is already rigged. We've got cameras installed inside. So tell me a bit more. When exactly did you buy it? Just a few key details and so on and so forth before we really set off. Go ahead and tell me, please.
It's been sitting in our garage right from the very beginning. I think, when did it come out? Something like that, you know?
2015? That's already an older car, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's part of this Trinity with the 918 Spider. Ferrari, LaFerrari, and the P1 Dot. Yeah.
The three ultimate hypercars. And I always say, when someone asks, which is the best car of the 3, but they are just so different, you can't really compare them directly because one is better at this, the other is better at that. The 918 Spider is slow on the straight, but drives incredibly well in the corners. The LaFerrari is just emotionally amazing. You still have the beauty here. Still that's also, of course, clearly well maintained. P1, you'll see for yourself. For me, it's already my favorite.
I haven't driven him just yet. Please don't reveal too much for now.
I'm not saying anything. Just let yourself be surprised. Well, I mean, we have a total output of 916 horsepower here, so there should definitely be a bit of forward motion.
Should definitely stir up some emotions.
Exactly. And it's really true, you can compare P1 directly to Senna 0.0. For me personally, the P1 is the more emotional car, especially sound-wise.
Also more old school in terms of behavior.
Spot on.
Please introduce him.
It just adds more of that Formula 1 feeling for me with DRS pass. That means we, of course, get electric power on top. Here at the back, you know.
You're pressing the button or what? I didn't know that.
Yes, you can go ahead and try it out now. You're welcome to press the little button.
Okay. So it's still, I mean, I've been down here for an hour now, and it's still, really every moment, no matter where you look, is eye candy, and you think, oh, the F40, we'll drive that someday, please.
Maybe the community has some cool ideas for what kind of fun challenge we could come up with for Matthias this time around.
What do I need to do to be able to drive the F40?
Exactly. Well, I'll definitely take a look at the numbers you guys share, and then we'll review them carefully and decide. We'll pick the best challenge and move forward with it.
Yeah, okay. One more question before we head to P1 now. Why don't you have a 918? Why don't you have a LaFerrari? That's such an extreme question, especially when you translate that into the normal world. That's a totally insane question. But with this garage, the question arises why you don't have it.
Well, I'd suggest you can take a little look over there in that general direction, maybe just glance around a bit. There's some kind of box.
You mean that 89 box?
Yes, exactly.
The box is actually, it's not a box, it's like a carbon box. Oh no, it is a box. Can I open it?
I don't even know what's inside.
The 918 Spider, it kind of looks like a user manual, or rather a Walter Röhrl signed inside it. Holy moly, all right then, okay.
So it's definitely a very good car, the 918 Spider. There's just an empty box here, no key for you inside.
No, but there was
I don't know, no idea. I don't have a clue what you're talking about. But I mean, now I'd suggest we head back to the P1 since we're driving with the P1 today, right? That's the plan we're going with, isn't it?
Right.
Exactly right. That's where the focus is today.
I'll go ahead and reset the 918 Spider box once again, all while keeping a close watch for the LaFerrari box. It's got to be here somewhere. Man, that rear. How it looks, it's not normal anymore, you know? I mean, I find it, well, it's clearly recognizable as a McLaren right away, but it's significantly rounder compared to the cars we see on the roads today.
It is. Of course, one has to mention now that it's currently positioned in race mode. Wings fully extended, and these things right here, these struts or supports, you know.
That's not normal anymore. Yes, so full race mode. Wings up, completely steep. What else is race mode?
That he fully lowers himself. We've, of course, activated DRSI PASS in this mode now. And of course, you can see this diffuser. It's just, for me, there's nowhere where I'd think, okay, that could have been executed more beautifully. So far, nothing has really stood out to me.
Wow. How many kilometers have you done with it?
I'd roughly estimate it has around 3,000 kilometers on it.
3,000? So it's really that typical supercar thing where you hardly ever take it out for a drive and the cars just end up with very few miles accumulated.
No, not at all.
Or do you ensure that...
No, not at all. Everything is being moved. Everything is being moved properly. You just have to mention that it's not only the P1 sitting here in the garage, you understand.
The month only has 30 or 31 days, depending on which one it is. So you'd have to drive a different car every day, which isn't possible. Because most likely you don't drive a car every day. But all the cars are registered. All cars, insurance, and taxes.
Wow, geez.
Go now.
Yeah, I'd also say, come on, let's get in, let's go. But Matthias, you still need to be in the passenger seat.
Usually, it's just this game they play at GRIP where I have to beg. Now you're doing that too, huh?
Yeah, I'd say for the first few meters, I'll take over for now. I'll make sure the car gets properly warmed up. And once it's nicely warmed up, then you can really step on it and let it rip.
Yeah, okay, this is absolutely insane. Man, it's next level awesome. The way it just kicks in and takes off is totally unreal. You can't help but grin from ear to ear when you're in the thick of it. Pure, unadulterated excitement at its best. Nothing else even comes close. Wow, man, that sounds absolutely crazy. It's beyond anything normal. Just try to imagine stepping out of the house like that in the early morning hours. Bye. I find it absolutely mind-blowing, these moments, this choreography, pulling out, driving into the elevator, then going up, man. It's just so freaking awesome and thrilling beyond words. Truly insane. We're in, and now we're heading our way. Yeah, okay. So, McLaren P1. Passenger seat first, right? What I really notice is just how small this car is. Just drove the 765 liter. It feels like a proper living room in comparison, even though that's also a track tool. It's absolutely wild how compact this cockpit feels. But it's also specifically designed for aerodynamics, because only with a cockpit that compact can you achieve those incredible speeds. What's the Vmax?
I've never actually taken it to its max speed, but back in the day I had it around 370.
370? Yeah, right.
So not 17, but 370. We won't be driving that today because only 350. Because I'd say roughly above 320 in tire pressure, it starts to feel a bit, well, not quite as smooth or relaxed to handle anymore, to be honest with you. Because you'd need to tweak the tire pressure again.
Okay, so let's reduce the tire pressure slightly to make it less intense and not as harsh. Yeah, but honestly, driving a supercar with over 300 horsepower is just a completely different kind of experience, you know? Well, many go, but there are also a lot of supercars where you absolutely have to be 100% focused at all times. So you're going beyond 300. But some cars are really very easy to drive at that speed, while others, holy smokes, hit the wrong bump and it would completely lose traction.
Absolutely, right?
Awesome, that's so insane. I've now saved the McLarens that are currently on the road, and here you can see a lot of features from the new cars, but presented in a retro style, like they've taken modern designs and given them a classic timeless twist. That's the funny part. You can practically witness the evolution happening.
Yeah, it's really different here, and I mean, you've truly got to acknowledge what McLaren achieved back then. It was absolutely groundbreaking and innovative stuff. It was really the first hypercar, and the MP4 was basically something you could forget. They just had way too many issues, and then they went ahead and dropped something like this out there.
Yeah.
That was just intense. I mean, we could also just drive the car entirely on electric power. So we can really drive about 20, 25 kilometers purely electric. It's not a lot, but still, you have to be honest, in a car like this, it's just really awesome.
Yeah, it's insane what they pulled off with that car back then. I mean, it was on par with Ferrari and Porsche. With the two other racing machines, and that's something you've got to pull off first. Holy smokes, that's absolutely insane. So 916 horsepower, 170 electric horsepower. I'd estimate it should be around 180 horsepower.
Per rotation. Okay, awesome. I gotta say, it's genuinely really comfortable here. Yeah, no doubt about it. Haven't you turned this on here?
Nee.
Now, we're just running in the normal mode right now. Not in race mode, because in race mode, it sits way too low overall. Way too low.
Yeah, but it's always bottoming out, or what?
Yes, theoretically it does. So theoretically, you can't really drive it on the road like that. South, yes, but of course, it's purely designed for the racetrack. We've got the wings at the back. They're raised up high, which naturally reduces some of the speed. And that's exactly why I'm saying if we tweak things a bit here, sport, track mode, that should absolutely be more than sufficient.
Okay, now let's explain this iPass. Honestly, I've never seen it before because I've never been in this car. What does it mean?
So the iPass is essentially what gives you that electric boost. And you'll definitely feel it when accelerating, how it really kicks in, pushes you forward. To put it better, you simply have this electric motor adding on to it.
It really gives you a solid and noticeable push forward, you know? So is it essentially still the same 4-liter engine, around 3.8 liters, right?
Essentially still the old engine, so to speak.
It's so mean. RPMs just under 3,000 the whole time. I keep thinking to myself, come on, just give it a proper push already, would you seriously? But it's this anticipation. It's really in every meter we're rolling. I keep thinking, come on, just for a moment, just a quick burst, let's go. But now it's warmed up, isn't it? You can feel it, right?
Now it's warmed up. Everything looks great, and we're finally merging onto the highway. Then I'll drive a few meters, and then you may take control.
What is it about the P1 for you where you're like, that's why I find it so incredibly impressive?
That you just feel everything, you hear everything, and you truly understand what the car is doing at every single moment while you're driving. You genuinely feel absolutely everything. But on the other hand, you can also, in theory, just relax and drive smoothly, like I'm doing right now.
Ja, das ist so Wahnsinn.
And you wouldn't even realize you're sitting in a P1. It genuinely feels like you're in a standard McLaren, and honestly, you can't sense any noticeable difference whatsoever at this point. But you'll notice it now, especially when you switch to sport or track mode then. It's a whole different story.
Now, I have to ask a really terrible question. Have you ever been in the P1 with the P1 number? Good. How can someone ask such a lousy question? I've been asked that a few times already. I kind of had a feeling I wouldn't be the first one to ask that question. Wow, man. The soundscape is just unbelievably awesome. Actually, we should probably stay silent for a minute or so, just to let everything sink in and fully immerse ourselves in the surrounding atmosphere. It's truly astonishing. When Matthias stays completely silent, then I believe it really does mean something quite significant indeed. Pressure's on? Dude, that's insane. Have you seen him go from 100 to 200? Did you measure the time?
Yeah, I measured it, and it really got me fired up too, because I timed him at exactly 4 seconds flat. It's just wild, you know? Crazy fast, man.
Yeah.
And it could have been under 4 seconds, but unfortunately he kept spinning out repeatedly, time after time. Why are we driving so quietly through the tunnel? In the videos, it's always dot. What was that tunnel just now? Yeah, but I thought we're just cruising through here nice and relaxed, you know, because now you can start driving.
Got it.
Now it's time for you to drive because I naturally wanted to observe first. So that's just this feeling, you know, being a passenger is just different from being the driver, right?
Yeah.
And then you're more than welcome to step in and take care of this job, the one that I'm always the one responsible for doing. Right on time as it starts to rain.
That makes it all the more exciting. Yes, nice with Trofeo R tires. But it scratches those edges a bit. This little McLaren, yes, it has such a unique fascination. I mean, it's the complete opposite of Lamborghini. Yes. And it's entirely the opposite of Porsche, especially with that exhaust system we got to experience today. But it has such a strong fascination, I think. It's that unmistakable English charm and character. It's just that McLaren is so unique and so special. You really have to take it for a drive yourself to fully grasp it.
Yeah, it's true. It really is. And honestly, for me, you can't compare the P1 to any other McLaren. It's absolutely in a league of its own.
It's just the P1, plain and simple. I mean, we're literally sitting here in automotive history. This isn't just something off the shelf. It's something genuinely extraordinary and one of a kind.
Simply the whole thing, for me, it's just the sheer fascination of this Formula One technology that's truly been integrated here with the DRS, with the EPAS. Because, I mean, you could just say, look, we'll take the 3.8-liter engine and we'll slap a couple of turbos on it, then we'll easily hit our 900 horsepower as well. But just welding this all together here with the entire aerodynamics, that's what always fascinates me again and again, every single time I see it in action, honestly. Yeah. So, we've arrived at the bus stop. I'm getting off. You can get on. Hold on a moment, please. All right, then. Okay. So I have to say, I'm not exactly the best passenger, right?
Well, that makes two of us, I think. Yeah, very good, but I found it pretty relaxed just now. Dude, the intro is absolutely insane. All right, so I drove the 918 Spider completely alone. I drove the LaFerrari with Supercar Blondie. And the P1 with you. Could be worse, works, right? Yeah.
So we're currently in sport mode, and you've already gone ahead and activated the boost button for that extra power boost. Meaning it's also directly tied into the EPAS system.
But I have to press it to activate the boost.
Exactly, you have to keep it pressed then.
Hold it down.
But I'd suggest you start by doing it without first, and then go ahead and try it with. That way, you'll really get to notice the difference.
Okay. Just feel the difference once.
Just to feel the difference.
Is the ESP off or what?
No, it's fully active. It's completely on.
So, we'll probably feel some tough interventions, I guess.
Yeah, once the Trofeos are up to temperature, it's actually pretty chill and quite straightforward to handle.
Okay. Horse 5. What is that? Seriously, dude, this is just absolutely bizarre and confusing. level, no joke. All right, so I've already pushed through once without even touching the E-Pass. Now, let's see how it really handles when we actually give it a proper run with the E-Pass this time around. Do you feel the punch now? Dude, this is insane. Honestly, the best thing is really when you hit the gas and then add that's when you really see the difference. Got it. One more time, but this is insane. This is insane how this thing handles. So, I find it, we haven't taken any big corners yet, but even so, I can already feel how the car handles, and it immediately gives you total confidence, which isn't always the case with McLarens, to be completely honest. Yeah, they can feel a bit indifferent, they work, but there's some understeer and such, which can be tricky. Yeah, that indifferent feeling, this one doesn't have that at all. Exactly. Okay, we'll shift into third gear, accelerate fully, and then activate the device. I pressed it once, like, huh? Then thought, no, I gotta hold it, right? That's what I'm telling you. The difference in pressure, it's like, I don't know how, but it feels like 300 more horsepower all of a sudden. Exactly. Oh. Again, I want to do it again. Das kracht. So intense. Already 280, 290. Hitting 300. Okay. Easy. Relax. Absolutely easy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this experience. This was truly a huge goal of mine, these three. This is simply automotive history. We just have to acknowledge that, and you can really feel...
You simply can't compare the three cars. That's what I always say, you know? It's completely different, totally distinct. For me, the P1 is hands down the most radical to drive by far. I was actually somewhat disappointed with the LaFerrari in terms of driving, I find. It's extremely emotional. But I just think, in terms of driving, it's not that great.
Dude, how sharp is this thing, huh?
And you have to think, is this really considered sport? We're not even on track yet. We're not on track yet, and then we'll only really start once we're out there on it. You disgrace, this is absolutely epic. Then we'll finally shift into race mode. So we've been in a really relaxed mode so far.
Yeah, but it's insane. The end is just not normal anymore.
We can switch into track mode here, both options, and then the race mode will also kick in right after that. Only then are we fully optimized for the track, the car lowers itself, and the wing extends upward.
I'd say it's tasty. It's insane. The way the bump goes, it's just not normal anymore. Its steering is out of this world. It drives completely unlike all other McLarens, even in contrast to the Senna. I find it much more direct. Yeah. Yeah? Yeah, it is. That's crazy. Ah, it worked. Still, we're taking off so smoothly here as if it were just a regular road car. The crazy thing is you only realize how much power it has when you take the power away, when it's suddenly not there anymore. Then you're like, man. But it's clearly designed for the racetrack. Yeah, I mean, on the highway, it feels incredibly at home, you know? The V-Merx 370. You really notice it on the highway. Those gears are just ultra long geared. And the tire pressure is acting up, so we'll turn it off real quick. That's what's been beeping all the time, but it's crazy. You notice it again, the translation is so long. It's insane how smoothly and effortlessly it steers. You really start to feel a different level of force needed beyond a certain steering angle. You have to apply a bit more force there, but it feels completely natural because you're thinking, yeah, I really want to go for it. I really want to fully commit and push into it with everything.
Yeah, and like I said, what do you think is going on in race mode? When the wing moves up, that's what we just experienced now, and that's only 40% of what the car is truly capable of. It's just a glimpse of its full potential, and there's so much more power and performance to unlock.
Yeah, and you can really push it hard in the corners with this. Matthias feels right at home there.
That feels good to me.
That's where you're at ease.
Thanks for sharing. Last question, what's the current price of such a car? Selling it, what's the cost?
I honestly can't tell you that.
If people suddenly show interest, like I'd also love to get myself a Peso 1.
I think, to be honest, yeah, I mean, people can just Google it if they want to, you know, to put it bluntly. It's really not that hard to find out. I would say now, depending on the kilometers, of course, it's somewhere around 1.3 to 1.5 by this point, give or take a little. I could definitely imagine that, maybe even a bit more, honestly. I really don't have a clue at this point. I didn't really look into that. I hope the car managed to fully convince you in the end.
Definitely.
I can't ask you right at this exact moment which one of the three you would ultimately decide upon. For me, it's all just the same, honestly speaking. For me, it's all just the same. You're genuinely having trouble to make up your mind.
Which one of the three, because they're just so different, so the trio is complete, it's absolutely perfect. P1, check, really awesome. All right then, I'd say without a doubt.
So we do it.